Hi, beautiful people. Hey, welcome to our YouTube channel at Ella Flourish. So, today we are making our amazing African dish that is a mashed bananas in an open African fire outside. So, walk with me. Here we are. So, we are going to add on this African dish, we are going to have bananas. So, we already have, I'm preparing peeling the bananas. There we are. It's called Kiganda. It's a Kiganda, right? It's a type of a banana that is called Kiganda. There we are. I am actually peeling it. I have added on the water that I'm actually peeling on. I've added a bit of orange juice so that our banana doesn't turn black. All right. So we are going to also add beans. We are going to add a bit of maize and pumpkin leaves, and of course a bit of spices. Yeah, so it's an African delicious dish. I think it's actually a staple food and it's very well balanced. You can imagine, for example, the bananas have potassium, which of course reduces kidney stones, also has fiber, it gives energy, it's also good in starch. It is actually a very good antioxidant. So clearly, bananas, this mashed banana meal is well balanced. We actually do, I do. Batch cooking. So this meal will take us like 5 weeks. So every week, once a week, we actually have one meal that we do, especially in the evenings. The mashed banana recipe, we do it once a week. So it will go for maybe 5 or 6 weeks, depends on if we have visitors or if we have visitors or so. So it will take us about 6 weeks. We expect that. We also see that when you talk about, for example, the pumpkin leaves, I'm going to show you where we'll pick them, and then we'll wash them very well. Then we'll be able to cut them into smaller sizes so that we can actually boil them and put them into our mashed banana recipe. We'll also look at uh, maybe just a few to talk about the banana leaves. We'll see that the benefits of banana leaves is that it is rich in soluble fiber, which of course helps in cholesterol absorption. So therefore, will actually reduce the risk of heart disorder. The insoluble fiber is also good. It will actually ease bowel movement. Of course, that clearly tells us it's good in preventing cancerous tumors growth in the colon. So it's actually good. So that's why we are saying it's actually a balanced diet. So I'm actually going now to go and pick our maize and our beans. They're in the freezer. So I'd like us to defrost them. Just get them out of the freezer. There they are. So we'll actually put them out so that we can defrost them before we can begin to cook our meal today. So that's the beans. We had pre-boiled them early and then put them in the freezer. So I'd like to defrost them. Hey, and here is our open fire, African authentic fire. Wow, look at that. How authentic is that? Look at the smoke going up. Open fire. Mm, wow, beautiful. Look at that. Right? You can see we also have the pumpkin leaves over there. There is our sufurias. Or there we are. I'd already prepared the fire. It's already on. So I'll put on the sufurias. We'll smear a bit of mud, or some people actually use a bit of oil so that it is easier to clean outside the sufuria. Right? We had two sufurias. I wanted to cook with the bigger one, but I don't think I thought it was too big for that. So we actually opted for the smaller one. It's not very small. It's actually medium size. All right, so there we are. I'll put on my oil, let it heat a bit, and it should be a little warm, hot. I mean, not necessarily very hot, but a bit hot. Then we'll put on our onions. All right, there we are. Yes, we've grabbed our frozen maize and beans. Now we are at the fire, the open fire. You know that open fire actually gives a very unique smoky flavor. to our dish, which brings out us closer to nature. Remember, our channel is more about nature. We've seen that most of my videos, I do them near the river, around the river, near the river, around in the woods, in the in the woods. Yeah, so you can imagine having an open fire kind of a dish. That aroma alone, it brings us closer to nature. Even the flavor alone. All right. On the pink bowl over there, we had already sliced the pumpkin leaves. We also have the defrost beans and maize. All right, we'll start the fire now. We're getting prepared. As we prep our ingredients, there we are preparing ahead of time and cooking outdoor. Um, Look at the breeze. Actually a breeze out here. So we let our onion sizzle for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. We let them sizzle, frying the onions on a wonderful depth of flavor. It gives us that nice, amazing taste and flavor. Actually, gives it a nice smoky kind of a taste. So we let our onions brown a bit. We have prepared also the spices. They are ready. We'll also add a bit of beans. So we are going to add the after the onions are browned, we'll add water. Then we'll add in our pumpkin leaves. We're just about to add our pumpkin leaves and the water. Allow me to just go and get the water. I'd already brought it from the tap inside the house. So I'll bring it up. Yeah, just a minute. Let's come. There is the water. I'm bringing the water. So we can see also pumpkin leaves are very good in terms of they're vital for bone and gum health. And also, actually, pumpkin leaves, of course, support the immune system. So they are very good. And we know it's also very good. Pumpkin leaves are also very good for women because what it does, it alleviates premenstrual syndrome. That is basically PMS. So it is very good. And if you have, for example, a dry skin, remember the pumpkin leaves also have very high water content. So what it does, it will help moisturize the skin. So it is very good. The pumpkin leaves, and remember for the pumpkin leaves, we actually we can cook them even as a side dish, like a stew. Like for example, if you look at the Kenyan staple food, ugali, you can actually eat that as part of the stew, and it's very healthy. So you can see for this mokimo, we call it mokimo in our language. Some people call it, of course, in English, it's called mashed bananas. Mashed bananas allow us to blow the fire a little so that it doesn't go out, or so that it can actually hasten the browning or the cooking of the onions. So we'll add a bit of wood and then blow it up a bit using the sufuria's cover. I'll turn it a little, so that the onions can actually become golden brown. Yeah, we are adding a bit of wood there. All right. So I'm going to add a bit of water. Yes. Also the beans and the maize that we'll add. Basically, what the beans and the maize in Kenya will do is mostly it is used for githeri. There's a dish that is very famous. I think in the western parts of Kenya it's called nyoyo or something like that. But it's basically a very good staple food. It's also very balanced because you can see you have maize, which has starch, it has energy. We also have beans in actual sense. Beans is very good in terms of protein. It is also good in terms of iron, vitamins. Yeah, beans is also good for the heart and also good for the gut and liver health. So clearly you can see this is a very good dish that should be added. There is our maize. We are defrosted the maize and the beans. They are ready. They're no longer frozen. We defrost them. On the side there, we have the spices that we will use. Yes, they are ready. Here they are. There is our pumpkin leaves. We had already cut them in small pieces. The maize over there. We'll add that in a few. There is our water that we are going to add into the onions. Our onions are almost golden brown. We had actually cut around 6 or 7 onions. We had prepared them earlier. So we'll turn them. There they are. We'll turn the onions. They are coming along nicely.
You give them a little time, let it brown.
So we'll add a bit of water to actually create to create a delicious broth, so that then you can add the pumpkin leaves. Right after stirring, we'll add, of course, now the water so that we have that nice broth, which will help our ingredients to cook and melt, and of course, melt together beautifully the entire food. So there we are. I'll blow it again so that we can hasten our cooking. I'll blow, blow, blow. Although the outdoor is very nice and it's a bit windy, there's a breeze, but the fire sometimes actually we need to actually add a bit of oxygen in there so that it can hasten the cooking, and we keep adding the wood. Don't mind, you don't always have to cover it. That's the reason why we have that smoky nice flavor. It gives us the authenticity. Yes. All right, so we'll add the water for the broth. That is like a bucket full. That is like maybe 5 liters or 6 liters of water. Remember, you can actually drain it, but you'd rather measure so that you don't have to drain it, because it will. If you drain it, you'll actually go with nutrients. So here is our pumpkin leaves. Yes, our insoluble fiber. It's very good. Yeah, it actually reduces cholesterol absorption in the body. So if it will actually reduce the risk of heart disorder. It's a good thing. This is an all up balanced diet. I don't think there is any family in Kenya that doesn't do mokimo or mashed bananas. We'll add a bit of potatoes. Yes. I think from kids, from the age of, as long as the child has begun to actually feed, it is very important that you actually add this particular recipe. It is very good. It is very good. It's a good recipe. So there we are. We'll add the pumpkin leaves into the fire. So we'll allow that to boil. So here is our pumpkin leaves. The water is boiled. So the reason why we allow it to come to a boil is basically because of that green color. It actually gives a very nice, amazing color to the mashed bananas. So that's the reason why we have to allow it to simmer, so that our dish slowly actually is able to also get that flavor. We'll add a bit of the spices, that is paprika. We'll also add like a teaspoon, or yeah, a tablespoon of paprika, and maybe a teaspoon of cumin. We'll also add a bit of garlic powder to our dish. Remember, we had already added the salt for the flavor, so that we allow it to boil with the pumpkin leaves. Yes, so we'll allow them to cook until they are able to disintegrate. So that is the pumpkin leaves, so that we have a smooth consistency. All right, so we are putting in our potatoes. I just decided to put a bowl of potatoes so that it's for the texture. Yes, and of course, even for the flavor. Yeah, we had prepared them. I prepared them earlier. Yes, I'd actually prepared them earlier. I don't necessarily actually have to cut them into smaller pieces, because if eventually we'll mash the food. Then we'll add in the bananas. Remember, we had put in a few drops of the lemon juice, so that our bananas don't turn black. You can see they're still white. Then you wash them properly. so that because we don't like the dark color on the banana, so that's the reason why you actually have to put a few drops of the lemon juice, and of course make sure that you washed your bananas very well, very nicely. So there we are, we'll just drop them, the entire bucket over there, we'll put them. It's very good. Bananas are very good, yeah. Beans are also very good. Basically, for overall health, this mashed balanced diet food, but mashed bananas is very good, right? Because it has vitamin A, has potassium, it has starch, right? It has folate, right? It has also beans also have iron. Remember, yes. We also have vitamins. It's very good. It's a very balanced diet dish. It's very nice. So we put all our bananas in there. All right. So we'll cover it. Then we can add a bit of wood so that we can hasten the food. We'll hasten the food by actually just adding a few uh, logs of wood and then blow it a bit so that it actually cooks very well. Then we'll turn it a bit. We'll give it like another 30 minutes. Once the bananas and the potatoes are cooked, we'll add in now our maize and our beans. We'll add in our maize and our beans. So we'll put in the blend in, we'll put in the maize. You see it's already defrosted. It's no longer frozen or held together because it was in the freezer. Remember we'd pre-boiled them earlier. Actually, we'd pre-boiled them like 2 days earlier. And the beans, of course, right? Fire seems to be a bit going out, so we'll add also more wood again. You have to make sure that you're always adding in your wood and checking on your food. Although it is outdoor, make sure that you're always adding in your wood and checking if the fire is. And it's really considering it's a rainy season, but the rains may just put out your fire, right? So the pumpkins, the pumpkin leaves are cooked. There we are. The maize is also cooking. So I'm adding in our fire over there. I'm adding fire and blowing it out. So we'll cover them. We'll add also the beans. Yeah, iron, vitamin. Look at that. Look at that. Balanced, right? It's a staple food in Kenya. There are those who call it matoke. There are those who call mokimo. So we've added all our ingredients. Now we'll give it time. There we are. It's ready. We've mashed it. We've been able to blend in the flavor together of all the ingredients that we put. So now we are ready for packing. We've mashed them. We just use the wooden stick, wooden mwiko. It's called a mwiko to mash it together and blend in the flavors together. So now we are ready to pack and put them in the freezer. We'll let it cool, like maybe 3 hours until it is cool. Then we'll pack it. So there is our amazing mashed, balanced mashed bananas. Hey guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. This is an amazing, amazing dish. Please do subscribe and learn to actually cook this. It's very nice, awesome. Bye, guys. If you've not subscribed again, we love you guys. Yes, look at that. Beautiful pumpkin leaves, bananas, mashed potatoes together, beans, maize. All of them are very nice, balanced kind of a meal. So there we are. It's a very balanced diet. So it is very good. Like I said, we actually put it in, just waiting for packaging. So we'll put them in our freezer now that it is cooled. And there we are. Bye, guys. Subscribe, 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 like our channel. We love you guys. Bye.